One, two, one, two. This is to put in the beginning of my video so I don't get age restricted or something. So I just finished recording the video. Long video. 17. Yeah, it's a cool video, sure. I learned about stuff. You know, opened my eyes really about the world. Wait. No, about school and all that. Okay, 30 seconds is up. Cool. I don't know. I don't invert it. I don't like doing a revert it, and that would look normal. Oh, fuck out of here. I don't care. Watch this shit.
Trivial, but it's actually a huge deal, and that is this episode is sponsored by KiwiCo.
Let me do like this.
Dear School, today I want to talk about something that on the surface may seem trivial, but it's actually a huge deal, and that is school start times. Because when I tell you that you might not only be severely
Oh my god, I messed it up. Oh, we'll flip the shit. Here you go. Conversing with my peers like they still here if I die tonight. How do I invert it? Because it's inverted on here. I don't like that. I look dumb. What do I click? What do I click? I'm sitting with my pigs like they still hit if I die tonight. Invert section. Wait, what did I do? I did nothing. Wait, okay, what's over here? Yeah, wrong way. Invert section. What is this doing? Flip vertical horizontal. Oh shit. No. Okay, but I might be onto something. Click. Fucking phone can't. Oh wait, how did I get over there? Okay. Okay. That is that. Okay, there you go. Now it's normal. Ooh, I'm a genius. Fuck out of here.
impacting your students' mental capacity and intelligence, both in the
Hey, motherfucker! Damn it! I just see my sheet. Oh my god, my Tim's good. Oh my, do my coffee, man. Damn it! Get some paper towel. They're not getting on my Tim. Got it over there, soldier. Oh, the Tims are safe though. Tims are safe. Tims are good. If it got on my Tims, I don't know if it would really do anything because they're kind of the same color as coffee.
This episode is sponsored by Kiwi.
My keyboard. Wait, is my keyboard gonna be okay? No. Oh shit. Wait, is that all water? Oh. I'm gonna say it with my peers like they still here if I die tonight. The book on me, homie. Fuck. told ya. I was in the black sweet dress. Bro, this isn't my room. That's why there's like a gay sunflower in the back. This is my sister's room. Ah. Just got some top. No, fuck King Von, bro. Fuck King Von. Ignorant motherfucker. Conversating with I'm recording, right? Alright, that's cool, that's cool. Conversating with my pigs like they're still here. If I die tonight.
This episode is sponsored by KiwiCo. Dear school, today I want to talk
Read a
about
book
something
on
that
me,
on the
homie.
surface may seem
Wait, this looks stupid. No, but that's how the audio. I think this is better than having to just. I don't give a fuck.
trivial, but it's actually a huge deal, and that is school start times. Because when I tell you that you might
That's
not
right! That's right! Let me chill out, bro. I'm doing too
be
much.
severely
I'm really doing too much.
impacting your students' mental capacity and intelligence, both in the moment and the future, but also impacting their physical and mental health, I'm not exaggerating. Let me put it bluntly. School needs to start later, at least for high school and university age students.
That's
And
right.
I don't mean later as in later in the year, I mean later as in not so freaking early in the morning.
That's right. I wake up like
But to understand why,
I don't even wake up that well, it's early, but motherfuckers wake up like at 5 and shit. I wake up at 6:20. And I gotta go on my bus like at 7:20. That's when I go and walk to my bus. I get there I get to school like at 7:58 or some shit. Something like no, it's like 8. I get there like at 8. Yeah.
we first have to understand sleep. Before a baby is even born, and up to around the first year of its life, infants spend much of their time in REM sleep, otherwise known as rapid eye movement. This is a stage we dream in, and it's during this REM sleep that babies are building up huge amounts of neural networks and connections in their brain. But soon after this time period, there's a sharp decline in REM sleep and an exponential rise in deep non-REM sleep that continues to rise until around puberty. And this non-REM sleep is actually responsible for fine-tuning our brains. Instead of building up more and more neurons and connections, it actually prunes and makes the brain more efficient and effective.
I hope this audio is all
basically
good.
taking the mold that early life created and sculpting it based on your life experiences and interactions. And studies have shown that this non-REM sleep is linked to the development of critical thinking, reasoning, and cognitive skills. Now, some of you might be screaming, reasoning skills, critical thinking in teens? And you'd be right in noticing that teens aren't exactly known for these things. But ironically, the development of the brain during this non-REM increase happens from back to front. Literally, the back of the brain, which manages visual and spatial perception, develops first, and this growth eventually makes its way to the front of the brain, or the frontal lobe, last, which finally enables critical and rational thought. This is why it sometimes feels that kids' brains aren't exactly working or keeping up with the rest of their development. The thing is, when non-REM is minimized or removed, things can go really wrong. In studies of mice and cats deprived of sleep, the brain development is stopped. In fact, many psychiatric disorders like schizophrenia, bipolar, and major depression are considered disorders of abnormal development. Studies on schizophrenia in particular have shown that there is a 2 to 3-fold reduction in non-REM sleep in teenagers that suffer from it. To top it all off, teens actually need more sleep than their adult counterparts. So if they're not getting enough hours of sleep, then they aren't going to be getting the optimal amount of non-REM sleep, which can hamper development. Now, I know what you're asking, how does this correlate to the time that school starts? Can't teens just go to bed early like the rest of us and get a long enough sleep? And if not, what time should school be starting at? Before we get to that answer, I want to quickly thank today's sponsor, KiwiCo. No word of a lie, KiwiCo is one of our favorite companies defining the future of play through hands-on learning. They're truly awesome to experience, even as an adult, because they make crates for all different ages through 8 different subscription lines. I, of course, love the Maker Crate, which is designed
Oh my god.
comes with all the supplies you'll need for that month's unique project. or get extra supplies. It's a blast every single time. Get it? A blast? Use kiwico.com/asap to get your first month free, which also helps our show. I mean, bam! What more can you ask for? Learning and supporting science creators. Again, that's kiwico.com/asap for your first month free. Now back to some sleepy science. So why does the specific time matter so much? Isn't it more relevant how much sleep kids are getting? Yes and no. The first thing you need to know is that as kids move into puberty, their circadian rhythm completely shifts. Our circadian rhythm is the name given to our internal clock that controls your body's sleep-wake cycle. In other words, it helps define when you feel tired and want to sleep versus when you feel at your most alert. This rhythm is of course different for everyone. We all have our unique chronotype, which is why some people are considered early birds and others are night owls, but in general, our unique chronotype, which is sleep versus when you feel at your most alert. This rhythm is of course different for everyone. We all have our unique chronotype, which is why some people are considered early birds and others are night owls, but in general, adults share a propensity to wake and sleep at roughly the same time. The thing is, one of the biggest factors defining our circadian rhythm is our age. Young kids before puberty not only need the most sleep, but tend to have a really early schedule. They become sleepy early in the evening and wake up earlier than adults typically. But as we hit puberty, the timing is shifted forward past even their parents by as much as 2 to 4 hours, meaning we want to stay up much later. And this change is seen across all adolescents regardless of culture or geography. Where a 9-year-old will typically fall asleep around 9 p.m.
I go to sleep like at 11.
That's actually often the hour of peak wakefulness. Asking a teenager to go to bed at 10 p.m. is like asking an adult to go to sleep at 7 p.m. In the same vein, waking up at 7 a.m. for a teen is the same as waking up around 4 a.m. for an adult. And I'm pretty sure all of us don't want to be seen at 4 a.m., let alone have to use our brains at 4 a.m. A lot of parents believe that teens are making a conscious decision to stay up later and that if they just went to bed earlier, they wouldn't be so tired. But the truth is, even if they do go to bed earlier, chances are they'll just be lying in bed awake until their body naturally winds down. But not embracing this biological timing, on top of the fact that teens need more sleep to begin with, risks developmental brain abnormalities and mental illness, and we have experimental evidence to show it. Later start times increase class attendance, reduce behavioral and psychological problems, and decrease substance and alcohol abuse. Longer sleep is directly correlated to better grades in teens
of this video? Oh my gosh, if I did, I'm gonna get age restricted again. No! I'm chilling.
Across the board.
Wait, what did I even do? The first 30 seconds of the video, what did I even say? Bro, I did cuss. Oh, fuck. I can just edit the video and like make it a black screen for the first 3 seconds.
Higher IQs. And studies on identical twins show that by the age of 10, the twin with the longer sleep pattern has superior intellectual abilities with more expansive vocabulary too. And schools that have tested later start times across the board and higher IQs. And
oh, hold on, my brain hurts.
Later start times increase class attendance, reduce behavioral and psychological problems, and decrease substance and alcohol abuse. Longer sleep is directly correlated to better grades in teens across the board and higher IQs. And studies on identical twins show that by the age of 10, the twin with the longer sleep pattern has superior intellectual abilities with more expansive vocabulary too. And schools that have tested—
this coffee's good. It ain't make me like it didn't make me feel like sick like the other coffee.
Later start times have seen a huge shift. A school in Minnesota that changed from a 7:25 a.m. start to 8:30 a.m. found that verbal SAT scores rose by over 150, while math SAT scores went up by over 50. And while we've talked about the importance of non-REM quality sleep in young adults, that's not to say REM sleep isn't also really important. Studies in the 1960s that deprived young adults of REM found that by the 3rd day of extreme deprivation, participants started to exhibit signs of psychosis. They were anxious, moody, and started to hallucinate and became paranoid. REM also becomes longer and more prominent in the later parts of your sleep, meaning if you cut your sleep short, you're disproportionately—
okay, he's talking like fast and like a lot. It's like hard to keep up with. He needs to work on
impacting the amount of REM you're getting. Life expectancy has also been shown to increase with later start times. So the #1 cause of death in teens is road traffic accidents, which have been linked directly to sleep deprivation.
But I'll be damned if I get killed from fucking some car, bro. Fuck out of here, bro. taking away my life from that. I'll be damned.
County in Wyoming changed their start time from 7:25 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. They
Hold on, go back.
changed their start time from 7:25 a.m. to 8:55 a.m. linked directly to sleep deprivation. When one county in Wyoming changed their start time from 7:25 a.m. to 8:55 a.m., they saw a 70% decrease in traffic accidents in the affected age group. So why do circadian rhythms stray so far in adolescence? The prevailing socio-evolutionary theory right now is that it allows teens and young adults to start gaining their independence from their parents, but in small increments. For several hours a day, kids can operate on their own or with their peer group away from adults, but it's not a full removal from parental supervision. During this stage, they get to practice becoming their own individual. The truth is, only a century ago in America, most schools started around 9 a.m. and 95% of students woke up without an alarm. Now in the US, 80%
That's
of
true.
schools
I wake up like at 9 a.m. I wake up like at 9 a.m. or in this weekend. That's true. Around that time, I wake up.
begin before 8:15 a.m.
But I also wake up like on a school day. Even like if I miss my alarm, I wake up at that time usually. That's just 'cause my body. I don't know what I'm saying.
and 50% of those start before 7:20 a.m. Not to mention the increasing impact of TVs 20 a.m. Not to mention the increasing impact, and 50% of those start before 7:20 a.m. Not to mention the increasing impact of TVs, computers, and phones in the bedroom. It's no wonder kids are more tired than ever. At the end of the day, the evidence is overwhelming that later start times around 9 a.m. or so are not only preferred by students, but lead to improvements in basically every single metric we're measuring their progress by in school. In the words of Dr. Walker, who wrote the book Why We Sleep, which was the primary source for this episode, we're too often focused on what sleep is taking away from our teenagers without stopping to think about what it may be adding. I hope we can change. I hope we can break the parent-to-child transmission of sleep neglect and remove what the exhausted, fatigued brains of our youth are so painfully starved of. When sleep is abundant, minds flourish. When it's deficient, they don't. I hope this video has been
I got like 8 hours of sleep this no like 7.5 hours of sleep today. I fell asleep like at 12:30, woke up like at 8. Cause I was gonna watch the Aiden Ross stream. Well, it wasn't his stream, but he was gonna come on stream, was gonna talk about shit. But I didn't see that the stream was on somebody else's stream. The Eddie dude, the guy that owns Kick, or made Kick. That's what Aiden Ross was gonna go on. So I was like, bro, why isn't Aiden on live yet? But it's cause he was on the Eddie stream. So I missed like the whole stream. I only like watched like the last 20 minutes. So I woke up for no reason.
Been informative and useful, especially if you are a parent or a teacher or someone who manages a school. And if you're a student, send this to your teachers right now. Send this to your administrators and let them know it's not a joke. Sleep is a huge part of our lives and so important for our intellectual capacities and our physical health. And they would do well to think about that when they start your school. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you like the video, subscribe if you want more, and we'll see you next time for some more science. Peace.
This dude
is a cow.
Why is everyone spiraling about YouTube banning ad blockers? Chill, you can just use Pi. This is Pi. It's a free
Activating narrative that spans across generations. It's no secret that schools are stuck in the past, using outdated teaching methods that have very little relevance to
bro,
the
I used to
real
watch this guy while I played The Blob, bro. That shit was, oh my god, that was like that was such a time. I was playing the Blob while watching this guy talking about Shane Dawson drama. I want to play that shit again, man.
world. From standardized testing to rigid curriculums, the modern education system often fails to engage students and provide them with the skills that they need to succeed in life. Instead of fostering creativity, critical thinking, and innovation, schools often prioritize memorization, conformity, and obedience. Meanwhile, in today's fast-paced, technology-driven society, we need a form of education that prepares students for the challenges and opportunities of the present time. So for today, I thought we'd take a look at 8 things that school fails to teach students that I think are of the utmost importance in today's world. What ties all of the following points together is that school simply lacks enjoyment. However, thanks to our wonderful sponsor Brilliant, learning no longer has to be a tedious activity. With a vast array of lessons spanning various subjects like
Why can't I pause the video? Motherfuckers need to add that shit. Like what? Why can't I pause it? I don't want to do no editing. That shit is complicated, bro. Can you even edit on this? You probably
Like
can.
math,
Yeah, you
logic,
can.
astrophysics, or neural networks, Brilliant offers an engaging and interactive learning experience. Upon signing up, Brilliant personalizes the lessons based on your proficiency level through a few tailored questions. As you delve into the interactive challenges and puzzles, you'll find yourself learning effortlessly. It's an enjoyable and stimulating platform,
But for real?
particularly beneficial for visual learners like myself. And you can try Brilliant completely free for a full
Bro,
30
what is
days and
this?
learning experience. Upon signing up, Brilliant personalizes the lessons based on
But this is some bullshit lessons. It's like no one cares. Fuck this shit. Algebra stupid. Calculus is stupid. The fuck is arithmetic? Like fuck.
your proficiency
Nobody
level
knows
through
what that
a few
is. No one's ever gonna use that.
tailored questions. As you delve into the interactive challenges and puzzles, you'll find yourself
I mean geometry. Geometry's ass. Geography's important. You have to know what shit is. Geometry though, that's stupid. Who the fuck gives a fuck about shapes? Like who cares about like the volume of a shape? No one does that shit in real life.
learning effortlessly. It's an enjoyable and
Except for some
stimulating
people. But like that shit don't matter because like no one's like those people. No one is those people that use that. Damn, I suck at speaking.
platform, particularly beneficial for visual learners like myself. And you can try Brilliant completely free for a full 30 days and get 20% off your annual premium subscription by visiting brilliant.org/AndreiTserba. That's AndreiTerbea. The moment you try it, it will probably become your new favorite activity on your journey as a lifelong learner. Thanks to Brilliant for sponsoring us. Now let's get back into our video. I remember going to school and just learning whatever we were being taught. And by taught, I mean what some lady with a monotone voice would ramble for an hour and we'd had to transcribe word for word. There was no sense of progression, no sense of achievement, and to get a good grade, we just had to spit back the same information we were told as closely as possible. I think an important skill that is lacking in school curriculums today is how to set goals. Learning would be much more engaging if they would simply tell students, this is what we're trying to learn, this is why it's important, and this is how you can keep track of your own progress along the way. Setting goals provides a palpable target to move towards, keeping you engaged and motivated. But if you don't know what you're working for, it's much more likely to procrastinate and wander aimlessly throughout school, and much worse, later on throughout life. Now, the
Failure is
implicit flip
good.
side of setting goals is the inevitable encounter with failure. I think it's in our human nature to want to be good at something, but a mental trap that most people fall into is avoiding failure at all costs. In the field of drawing, for example, it's all too common to think, I can't start posting my artworks online, I have to get good at drawing first. But in reality, it's the exact opposite way around. By posting every crappy design and bad drawing and getting feedback on them, you learn as you fail until you don't fail as much anymore. I wish school would teach kids how important it is to fail, because when you cling to the idea that you have to be successful, you will generally play it safe, because failure is the opposite of success, right? Therein lies the paradox. By avoiding failure, you're missing out on valuable learning experiences that would otherwise accelerate your way to success. So when schools promote a mentality of being good enough via participation trophies and hollow praise, they're denying kids a crucial opportunity to overcome challenges and grow.
What?
This is a big
What
one.
did he
Critical
even
thinking.
say?
It's kind of ironic to expect schools to promote it though, because the entire history of the modern
Ooh.
education system is rooted in making students docile and conforming to societal norms.
That's right.
It all stems from the early 1800s with the Prussian
Some
education
bullshit.
model that was specifically designed to meet the needs of the state, i.e. to prepare kids for a life of obedience and working in factories for very low wages. The Prussian model was then adopted in much of the Western world, where it continues to function very similarly to this day. If schools were to make a greater effort in fostering critical thinking, students would learn to question assumptions, evaluate evidence, and analyze information from multiple perspectives. Media manipulation would be far less effective, people wouldn't be as susceptible to electing leaders for the wrong reasons, and society as a whole would be much more advanced. And I can't help but wonder if the education system isn't doing this out of laziness or just intentionally
Got
doesn't want
Pac-Man
that
eyes.
scenario to play out. Unless you were born with a trust fund and never had to worry about money in your entire life, system isn't doing this out of laziness or just intentionally doesn't want that scenario to play out. Unless you were born with a trust fund and never had to worry about money in your entire life, I know for a fact that
Oh, new PlayStation Plus games got added. Ooh, wonder what they are. Maybe some good.
Nobody ever explained money management to you. I mean, there's basic advice that you get from your parents if you're lucky.
In 6th grade, at the end of the year, my teacher did explain like taxes and shit, but it was just something she did, right? Because we was already done. We were already done with everything, so she was like, might as well teach them something useful. So she did. I forgot though. I forgot about it though. But that was cool that she did that.
Such as don't spend more than you earn or save for a rainy day. But when it comes to the nitty-gritty details of budgeting, investing, and understanding how credit cards and taxes work, for some reason we're left to figure it out on our own. How come we don't learn about this in school? It's by far one of the most important skills in life. And if you understand taxes, by the way, you understand that you are directly contributing to the development of the city you live in. And then you can demand that your tax money be put to work in a way that aligns with your needs. And then you'll have a better looking neighborhood, better roads, more facilities, and a higher standard of life altogether. But in order for that to happen, it all has to start with financial literacy being taught in schools. History is usually taught as something entirely separate from the timeline we are living through today, which is why it's generally considered by many to be one of the most boring subjects in school. To most students, what history. Napoleon did 200 years ago is no more relevant than how...
Well, I think I like it. Like, I think you should know about shit in the past.
Sauron forged the One Ring to rule them all.
One ring to find them, one ring to break.
Now that I think about it, they might actually care more about that one. But just like a well-crafted work of fiction, history is a captivating narrative that spans across generations. Your parents lived a slightly different life than yours, and your grandparents even more so, and their parents and their grandparents and so forth. So when you build out your family tree, you start to see how times changed little by little, and you look at the events from the past through a different lens because your ancestors lived through a lot of the seemingly boring stuff that you would normally just read about in a textbook. I think history should be studied backwards, figuring out how exactly we got to where we are now. Maya Angelou once said, if you don't know where you've come from, you don't know where you're going. So understanding the history of your family, your ancestors, your city, your country, and that of the entire world should be a much more personal journey than simply memorizing the dates of some war you'll never care about.
Bruh. Oh, fuck out of here with this Genshin Impact shit.
We all have disagreements in life, whether it's with our parents, a friend, a boss, your spouse, etc. Studies show that an average family spends roughly 49 minutes every single day just arguing, and that doesn't even count conflicts outside of the household. That's why I think it's necessary to learn very early on how to have a framework for arguing. Sure, some schools have debate clubs that encourage these skills, but in my opinion, this is such a pervasive issue that it should be incorporated into the curriculum across the board. Students would develop the ability to navigate conflicts, listen to opposing ideas, seek consensus, and respect a well-constructed argument even when they disagree with it. If you look at Twitter for just a fraction of a second, you'll see we are nowhere close to that. I think most people don't even know that there's such a thing as having a mental framework when having a fight with someone. Considering how inevitable it is to run into disagreements with the people in your life, I think learning how to argue is one of the most fundamental skills that's
I want to
not
join
being
a debate
taught
team,
at
something
all.
like that.
Listen, not everyone needs to be a CEO. The world certainly doesn't need a population of wannabe entrepreneurs parading around as if they're destined to become the next Steve Jobs. However, introducing the concept of entrepreneurship to children is undeniably valuable. It instills resourcefulness and a proactive mindset. It sharpens one's sense for identifying opportunities and taking calculated risks. These aren't just qualities that you need in the world of business, by the way. Understanding entrepreneurship from a young age nurtures a self-reliant spirit that transcends traditional career paths. It gives the child the tools needed to carve their own path, pursue their passions, and contribute to the world around them in a meaningful way. Obviously, school plays a pivotal role in one's life, largely shaping their identity and setting them a foundation for their future. But what often gets overlooked
I'm really
at that
tired,
age
but the
is that
coffee's running out.
school is just one
Drink another
tiny
cup.
chapter in a much larger story. When you're sitting in a classroom with the same 30 people every day, it's easy to get caught up in a bubble. You've got your group of friends, that girl or boy that you've got a crush on, the occasional bully. There's this entire ecosystem that feels like that's your entire life right there. What's missing, in my opinion, is someone telling these kids that a lot of what surrounds them today, friends, beliefs, peer pressure, it will all be absolutely irrelevant the moment they graduate. And that goes both ways, by the way. If you're having a
Shit changes after high school. I don't know. I'm still in high school, but from what I heard, shit really changes. You could be a whole different person. When you're like from 18 to 20, it could really change, bro. That's right. I'm real different than how I was when I was like 12. I'm 15. Oh, Money Boy 16. Who the fuck is Money Boy 69? That shit not funny. What the fuck is that his name?
Miserable time, it's only temporary. And if you're the most popular kid in school, I'm afraid to tell you that will also pass. And if there's one thing that you don't want to be, it's 43 years old still talking about how you were once the prom queen. What do you think school should teach kids more? Which topic from the ones that we've discussed do you resonate with the most, and why? Let me know down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again very soon.
Oh, she's gonna hurt my nose. I already forgot what you said. Oh, critical thinking. Yeah, I think that's the one that people should learn the most. Do schools kill creativity? Y'all need to learn how to read better, bro. Look, let me read. It's sad now that he's gone, but he's dearly missed. Rest in peace, Sir Ken. Oh, he died? Ken Robinson. Oh. Wow. Hey yo, oh fuck. R.I.P. to Ken Robinson, man. May rest in peace. Praise his family. God bless his soul. God rest his soul. In Jesus' name, amen. That's what I do whenever I find out somebody died. Oh, hold on. Let me talk.
Good morning.
What was stiff when he walked?
How are you?
I'm too tight with a gym, man. Yeah, I'm too
been
tight
great,
with a
hasn't it?
gym, man. Caught.
I've been blown away by the whole thing. In fact, I'm leaving.
06, bro. This is before I was born.
There have been three themes, haven't there, running through the conference, which are relevant to what I want to talk about. One is the extraordinary evidence of human creativity in all of the presentations that we've had. And,
Hold on,
and
it's
in
a
all
TED
the people
Talk. I
here.
kind of want to watch this.
Just the variety of it and the range of it. The second is that it's put us in a place where we have no idea what's going to happen
Yeah,
in
I'm
terms
too
of the
tight
future.
with a gym, man. Caught. On the leeway. Put it in sport. Yeah. Hopefully, like, whoa.
WGU's flat rate tuition at your pace format and
Fuck
generous
outta
transfer
here, bro.
policy allow you to earn a degree in less time for less money. Pay about half the cost of the national average for a bachelor's degree. Learn more and get started at WGU.edu.
Why is this so true?
Number 1, cafeteria food. When you go inside a high school cafeteria, you'll find exactly 5 things on the menu. Frozen pizza, frozen french fries, frozen hamburgers, frozen chicken nuggets, and frozen cookies.
It's not frozen though. It's usually like it's not frozen. It was frozen, but I don't know
Imagine
what I'm
eating
saying.
these same foods every single day for 4 years. They're basically just cutting years off your lifespan, and we wonder why 40% of adults are obese in the US.
Oh,
Number
for real? Wait, it's bad for you?
Stuck in prison. As if poisoning you wasn't bad enough, high schools basically trap you in the prison cell called a classroom for 8 hours. So essentially, you're sitting down in the same...
Bullshit. One day I'm just gonna be like, one day I'm just gonna get up. I'm gonna be like sitting down, I'm gonna get up, and I'm gonna say, I need some fresh air, miss. I'm gonna get out. I need some fresh air. I can't do this no more. Some bullshit. I need some fresh air. And I'm just gonna walk out of class. And then, yeah, I might get in trouble. I don't know.
same seat for at least an hour before you're forced to move to a different prison cell. And you have exactly 5 minutes to get to your next prison cell, or your teacher will call mommy and daddy. So if you think about it, you're sitting in prison for almost 6 hours straight, which just adds to the obesity problem and shaves the next couple years off your lifespan. Number 3, college admissions. So on top of being poisoned and stuck in prison, you're also forced to compete with your fellow prisoners to get into a good college. And that basically means you're pulling all-nighters working on projects and studying for tests, stressing out about the SAT and AP exams, and participating in 20 different activities to look good for colleges, all of which just cut even more years off your lifespan.
Oh shit. Yo, hold on. Let me talk. Bro, moving stiff when he walk. I'm too tech, got a gym in. Yeah, I'm too tech, got a gym in car. On the leeway, put in spot. House school kills yo creativity. Excuse me. I can't really see these letters with my sunglasses. Most difficult more like
This is something I thought was extraordinarily cool. What predicts academic ability, for example, at the
the
University of
education
Toronto?
system wants you to be smart enough to follow orders. not to question them. You see, that's me, bro. I follow orders. I'm brainwashed. I'm programmed. Something like that. Like I'm just my brain. I don't question shit. I'm trying to question shit. Critically think. That's what I'm trying to do. Question shit. Fight for what I believe in. Yo, my brain's slow. I think slow, bro.
Toronto is intelligence, obviously, but also conscientiousness. The correlation between creativity and grades at the U of T is zero.
Geek.
Zero. Right.
Yo. Am I chopped? Yo. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Fucking geek. Nerd alert.
But it's not surprising. The thing is, it's easy to be cynical about that. But one of the things you have to understand about creative people is that they continually step outside of the domain of evaluation, but also conscientiousness. The correlation between creativity and grades at the U of T is zero. Zero. Right. But it's not surprising. The thing is, it's easy to be cynical about that. But one of the things you have to understand about creative people is that they continually step outside of the domain of evaluation structures, right? Because if you're going to evaluate the performance of 100 professors on their lecturing ability, well, you kind of have to measure what's common across all the professors in order to come up with the standards for evaluation. Well, that means you're not going to be able to use that structure to evaluate a particularly creative professor because he or she is going to do something in a way that's so different that it won't show up on the evaluation measure. And of course, that's what happens in universities. Somebody sent me a couple of days ago, somebody sent me an essay that they had written for their master's thesis that was wildly creative, and they were basically told to leave the program and that they couldn't continue. Not in a mean way. What happened was that what they were thinking was so outside of the conventions in the discipline is that no one had any idea what to do with the essay. So then that's really the lot of creative people, right? They're always stepping outside of evaluation structures. And so it's not that surprising that the relationship between creativity and grades at the U of T is zero. We found out as well by looking at graduate student performance across multiple institutions that there was a negative correlation between creativity and graduate school performance. It wasn't even zero, it was worse than negative. Being creative was negative. And so it turns out to be conscientiousness that's the excellent predictor of graduate student performance. That's the best predictor for law. It's the best predictor for managerial positions. It's the best predictor for administrative positions. Anything that has a structure of rules that needs to be applied, conscientiousness is a great predictor. But it's not good for predicting artistic ability or entrepreneurial ability. So you need to have some creative wingnuts in your organization to come up with completely absurd ideas that might just on the off chance be true. And so creativity is strange in that manner too, because it's a high risk, high return game. You're a lot safer in your life to find a functioning entity and to operate as a cog within it, as long as the entity keeps functioning. Because if you're creative and you go off on tangents all the time, there's some probability that one of those tangents is going to be exactly what is needed at the time, and you're going to become hyper successful as a consequence. But there's much more probability that even though some of your ideas might be highly valuable, the probability that this is the right time and place for them is extraordinarily low.
Oh my God.
So to produce a successful creative product, for example, in the marketplace, you need a ridiculous combination of creativity so that you keep generating ideas, and then a network around you of people who have skills that you don't, and then the production of a product, let's say, whatever that happens to be, that's actually in demand by the marketplace at exactly that moment, and that someone else hasn't already done better. So the sensible thing to tell anybody who wants to be creative is that's stupid. You shouldn't do it. It's your probability of success is so low that it's better just to do something sensible. But the problem with that is that creative people can't do that because they're creative. And if they shut down their creativity, it's like an extrovert who's gone to live in in an isolated cell. A creative person who isn't being creative, they just wither and die. So they're stuck with it. But it is a high risk, high return strategy.
Okay. That shit really hurt like my brain, bro. I don't know why I'm so like my brain is just.
Whether
like,
it's a
slow.
musical masterpiece or a beautifully crafted object, art and design is a human experience that almost everyone can appreciate. It has the power to
Hold
invigorate.
on, I want to make some more coffee, but bro, why can't I pause the video? My gosh. Fine, I'm stopping the video, and I'm gonna see if I could edit it together with a new one. Ta-ta. That's my. Oh shit, I look gay. Yo, I saw the video right now that I was recording when I got up, and I was like, motherfucker, because I spilled my coffee. Bro, I look dumb as fuck, bro. I just realized I look like a fucking loser. I look like some gamer kid, bro. I'm not even a gamer like that. I don't be playing games like that. I've been playing Marvel Rivals. That's fun, but I'm not a gamer like that. Like, oh, bro. When I stood up, bro, and I look gay as fuck. I look like some fucking whatever. Damn it! Oh wait, no. I'm gonna edit this part onto the next video. I'm gonna edit this video right now. This thing forever to load onto this editor thing. I'm still watching stuff about school, education, and all that. Program. Wait, bro, my headphones just fell. Was my audio even good? Stupid idiot, I forgot. Bro, I forgot, bro, about my mic. But that audio is probably ass. I don't care, whatever. I got 5 views on this video. 3 views. Wait, some of these views are probably like mine, right? You count your own views. Look, 11 views on this video. Dude, I think I blew up. 5 views on my short. See, I got motion. Wait, what was I watching?
You reawaken dormant memories or simply improve your quality of life. And this is exactly how artists and designers feel when their work isn't recognized. It takes time, effort, and a great deal of trial and error for creative people to make beautiful work. And it can be really discouraging when nobody cares about it. All of these creative achievements are nothing short of magic. These are all well-known masterpieces, but there are tens of thousands of other brilliant creative works that will never be heard, seen, or recognized. Why is there such a disparity between the creative cultural icons of our time and the artists and designers who are just as talented but remain overlooked? Why doesn't society value creativity? Creative people are some of the most mocked and disdained people in society, but also some of the most respected and celebrated, all at the same time. Our lives are significantly improved because of creative work. In this video, we'll cover the problems of creativity, and I'll tell you about some of the solutions that I've had success with. I'm not a world-famous designer or anything, but I am able to pick the types of clients that I want to work with, which is something that most
It looks kind of like Michael
people would
Jackson.
be pretty happy with. The average person.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's talking about. I'm not watching it. But he does look kind of like Michael Jackson.
This is something I thought was extraordinarily cool.
How to kill brain rot.
How much money do you spend per month living
Yo,
in...
I should probably stop watching TikTok, bro. I stopped the beginning of the school year. I was not watching TikTok. I lasted like a long time. I was not watching no short content like that. And then like, I forget why, but I just relapsed. Now I be using TikTok like that. You ever scroll so long on like TikTok and shit, and your brain just starts to hurt? It's just like oh, like you just get mad. You just your brain hurts. You're like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
New York City, including everything?
8K the last 2 months.
And what's your occupation? What do you do?
I do.
Oh God, or views are evil.
A lot of people have been feeling as if though something sinister is happening to their brains. They feel as if though their excessive use of the internet and the types of videos they watch on there is making them dumber. And this probably isn't news to anybody.
Bro, I do be dumb. I be on like, I be like looking at brain rot content, I just be like laughing like that and shit, all stupid and shit. That's how I be laughing.
It is abundantly clear that basically every social media app now has some sort of short form content tab that you can click to, and they kind of want you to click on it because they know that you will spend a lot of time on there because of the novelty of it. And the content itself is designed to keep you watching as long as possible, by any means necessary. Sometimes even by playing 2 videos at the same time, to keep the novelty up, to keep the dopamine flowing. But people have really started to notice that the more they consume this content, the dumber they feel, the more useless they feel, to the point where people have now coined the term brain rot content, insinuating that by consuming this content, your brain is rotting. It is degenerating in some way. And there's some truth to this. Studies have found that the human attention span is decreasing to the point now where the average phone pickup lasts about 10 seconds. And that was in 2021. But people have been talking about this for a long time. I'm not saying anything new here, and the term brain rot wouldn't have been coined if nobody was talking about it. But is it actually true? Is the modern internet landscape rotting holes in all of our brains to the point where we are just degenerate human beings now? We are zombies, just a slave to the algorithm, prisoners to our phones, and is there nothing we can do about it? Well, of course there's nothing you can do about it. It's over. We're doomed. Pack it up. But here's the thing. I think we're asking the wrong questions. I think society has become pretty obsessed with the idea that external forces cause them to do certain things. It's like, oh, this short form content is now on the internet and it's there. And it's so addictive that it's making everybody just watch it and people are getting hooked on it and it's frying their brains and now we're just a bunch of NPCs. But the truth is, nothing can make you do anything. You know, short form content is inanimate. It can't make you watch it. And there are plenty of things that might be really bad for you that you are currently not tempted to go and consume. Now, there is something to be said about giving smartphones to toddlers and turning them into iPad kids. But if you're watching this, then chances are you have a fully formed brain or something close to it. And if that's the case, I want you to know that you are in full control over all of your actions in life, even though it might not seem like it at times. You know, people who have anger issues, they say, man, I just can't control my anger. It's like, well, you can. And a lot of people who go through rehabilitation learn that they do have control over their anger. And getting over their anger issues is about learning that they have had control. It's learning to exercise that control in a healthier way. Now, this leads me to what I believe is the actual brain rot in society. There is a pervasive sentiment going on right now, and I don't know how long it's been going on for. I suspect a lot longer than social media has been around. It's this parasitic idea that you are not in control over your own actions. It's this idea that the things that are around you in your environment, inanimate objects, situations, can make you do things that you don't want to do. That's just not true. The real brain rot is thinking, oh, you know, I should be doing my work, but, you know, I'm just so addicted to my phone and I get down this rabbit hole and I can't stop. Or once I beat my internet addiction, I will finally be a productive human being. Then I can start living the life I want. I just need to, you know, reel it in. I need to just learn how to beat this thing. That type of belief system is a feedback loop that you will never get out of. It's subscribing to this idea of helplessness. It's determinism. It's rejecting the idea that you have free will. And when it comes to your own behaviors, a lot of the time, the ideas that you subscribe to become true for you. If you believe that you are helpless, that you're just a leaf blowing in the wind in your own life, then that will become true for you. You'll wait around for some perfect situation to line up. The stars will align perfectly, and that will make you do something that you already want to do. You make, on average, 35,000 decisions every single day. A decision implies that there are multiple options on the table, and that you have the autonomy to actually choose from an array of options. Otherwise, it's not really a decision, which means that you have the ability to make a different decision. Every single one of these decisions can be different. And just because certain decisions are a little bit harder or or easier, or they might feel that way, doesn't mean that you don't have the option and that you don't make the decision. So a really good example of this distortion of control is the election that just happened in the United States. I'm up here in Canada, so I have a degree of separation from the drama. So with the election, you have an outcome that shapes what it feels like to live in a certain country. And right, the country that you live in is your environment. There are certain laws and there are certain rules, and when those laws and rules change, it can feel pretty different. But whatever the outcome of an election is the outcome, right? Like, you individually don't make a difference in that outcome. You only have the illusion of making a difference. You have very powerful people who lobby and control things and have all of the money and power, and they present you with
How does the election even work? Because apparently the popular vote isn't even how this shit works. Even if you have the popular vote, it doesn't mean you win. Hey, what? That's some bullshit. Isn't that what like a democracy is or whatever?
this option, right? Here's your control.
I gotta educate myself on this shit, bro. I'm very ignorant to it. How shit works. Did you teach that in school? How the election works.
Control, citizen. You can choose this candidate or this candidate. And it makes you feel like you're really making a difference. Like, oh, cool, I get to make a choice now. The fate of the country is in my hands. But it's like, no, it's not. You individually don't get to decide what the food supply is or what the border security is like. Like, you don't make all these decisions. Like, you only have the illusion of decision. So to argue about what that decision ultimately came to, in my opinion, is really dumb. Doing that is like being involved in a poker game. You're sitting there at the poker table and the dealer hands you a card. And instead of trying to maximize the hand that you're dealt, even if it's a horrible hand, instead of trying to decide for yourself what you do when you get that hand, you don't play the game and you argue with the dealer. You argue with everybody at the table about like how stupid this hand is. But it's like, no matter what, the hand you're dealt is the hand you're dealt. You may have an opinion and you might know for certain what a good hand looks like. But even if you get the best hand in poker, somebody else could have a better hand just based on the mixture of cards at the table. No matter what, ultimately the decisions that you make will determine the outcome of the game for you. You have far less control over the hand you're dealt than you think you do, and you have way more control over how you play that hand than you've been led to believe. So what does this all mean? How do we solve the problem of brain rot? How do you take control over your own life and actually change your behavior so you stop feeling like a passenger in your own life and get back into the driver's seat? Well, we'll go over some practical tips after I thank the sponsor of today's video, which is Skillshare. And I'm very happy that Skillshare specifically is sponsoring this video because it's a great example of a platform that's not trying regrets it later. Well, the number one thing that you can do is be conscious of this thing that I call mental posture and structure your day with that in mind. So what the hell am I talking about? So everybody kind of already instinctually feels what I mean when I say mental posture. You know, when you're kind of consuming content all day, say you're down a YouTube rabbit hole, it feels like almost mentally your brain itself is lounging back and you're scrolling content and you have this sort of passive mindset. You know, you want things to entertain you, you want things to affect you, and you don't really want to do anything. The goal here isn't to be a perfect human being. It's to feel as if though that you're doing a better job of being a person, the person that you want to be. So what I've done is I've really made sure to structure my day so that I am starting the first half of the day with a more aggressive and proactive mental posture. And it's really hard to get into that framework if the first part of your day is riddled with this sort of passive mental posture, which means don't start your day by getting into this YouTube rabbit hole. Don't start your day by being a passenger and a consumer of things. And you do that by just doing nothing, really, right? Instead of going on your phone, don't go on your phone. It's that simple. Go get your coffee or whatever you want to do. Start your day off slow with very little stimulation and start thinking about the things you want to do that day. And I think naturally your motivation kicks in if you don't flood it with consumption. If you have absolutely no stimulation except the delicious cup of coffee that you have and the sound of the rain hitting the window, then your imagination will actually have time to breathe. You'll
Bro, I
think,
need a shave, bro.
you know, maybe you have to go to
Like,
work. I think most
I need
people
some
have to go to
razors.
work. But it's like, okay, how do I want this work day to go? You start thinking of ways that you can play your poker hand to the best of your ability. You know, what hand am I going to be dealt today? And how can I play that hand better? Whereas if you start the day and you know, for the first hour of the day before you go to work, you're just in this YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels binge, then you're just gonna start that day off being affected by things. You have this mental posture of passivity, and you're not going to attack life and mold it to your will. And the second
I
thing
don't
you can
exactly
do
know
is to
what he means.
eliminate
What he's
things
talking
that
about.
pull you into this habit of consumerism. One of the most useful things that you can do is A, delete stupid apps
I only
from your
use Twitter to
phone
watch
that you waste a
people's
lot of time
videos.
on, number one. You know, I make chronic Instagram deleter. I'll
Twitter used to. Never mind.
download TikTok like once every 2 months when somebody sends me a TikTok and I have to react to it or respond to it, and TikTok does that stupid thing where it makes you make an account or something. I don't know. Just delete stuff that you don't want on your phone. It sounds obvious, but a lot of people don't do it. They just have all these time-wasting apps on their phone and they expect that they won't click on it one day. You don't have to delete your account, although that's what I did. You'll probably get there, to be honest, but just delete the app. And then secondly,
Should I
go
delete
into the
TikTok?
settings of your phone and disable like 99% of all of your notifications for things. What do you really need to be notified about, other than somebody sending you a text message directly or receiving a phone call?
Don't
You don't need
run.
Adobe PDF
Take it.
scanner texting you and causing a phone pickup. Adobe PDF scanner. What the f? So do a serious vetting of your phone, making sure that you are reducing phone pickups that will pull you out of being a proactive person in your life and back into being this backseat driver. And the third thing I would say is do as many things as you can that make you present. You know, I play hockey, I go to the gym. These
He
things
looks like he
kind
plays
of
hockey.
pull you into the present moment, and it gets you in the habit of actually doing things and moving things in space and time and contributing to the world physically. And these things can be things that you genuinely enjoy doing. You know, these are nice moments where you're not a mere battery for a giant corporate oligarchy. These are moments where you break free of the matrix and you're a real person in the real world doing real
Oh,
things.
shit.
Maximize the time in your life where you're doing stuff like that. Even if you're going for a walk.
Bro, should I go outside? Like, should I ride my bike? Should I ride my bike outside? Is going outside even fun though? I don't be going outside. Like out. What the fuck am I gonna do, bruh? I'm just gonna ride my bike, look around. I ain't gonna talk to nobody, I don't think. I haven't rode my bike since April. Wait, right? No, that's not true. That's not true. No, since like September, yeah. Like September 15th was the last time I rode it. And I was to a friend's house. But my fucking tire was all popped. My tire was messed up, and my tube, like my tire couldn't contain the tube. The tube was bursting out of the tire, and then shit popped, and I tried taping it to keep the fucking tube contained, and shit went flat, and then it got all caught up in my wheel when I was coming back home. Yeah, I don't know. I had to walk with a fucked up wheel on my bike.
Or grabbing coffee with a friend. Be a person in the world. The internet isn't real. It's kind of just like pictures on a screen. So stop looking at pictures on a screen so much and go and live the life that you actually want to live.
Your talent. Your style.
I want some sunglasses. I have some Lokes. I don't know where I put them though.
Dorrance Publishing. Helping authors since 1920.
You don't want to be Loke and you get smoked, and I hope if you fans understand when you talk about green.
This is something I thought.
Thanks for making your films, paying me. Same records that you making are paying me. Motherfuck Dre, motherfuck Snoop, motherfuck Death Row. I don't know. I don't invert it. I don't like doing yelling. Here come my left blow. Normal. Oh, fuck out of here. I don't care. I don't care. Watch this
trivial.
Shit. What did I do? Oh. I don't know. I don't invert it. I don't like doing a revert it, and that would look normal. How do I move? Fuck out. Hello. How do I move over here? Back to the rest of the video.
Severely
conversation with my peers like this. They're not getting on my 10. Oh, okay. Look, bro. I just see my sheep. Oh my god, my Tim's good. Like, ew. Like, ew. I look like some fucking gamer, like loser, bro. Damn it. I just see my sheep. Oh my god, my Tim's good. Watch me get up, bro. Oh my, do my coffee, man. Like, I look dumb as fuck. Damn. Some paper towel. They're not getting on my 10. Oh, the Tims are safe though. Yeah, Tims are good. Tims are safe. That's coffee. Coffee.
This episode is sponsored by Key.
My keyboard. Wait, is my keyboard gonna be okay? Oh, water? Conversate with my peers like they still here. Yo, I sound dumb as fuck. The buck on me, homie. What am I saying? A spider's like a gay sunflower in the back. This is my sister's room. Ew! You see my armpit? Yo, I need to bulk up, bro. No, fuck. Alright, I'm done with it.
Well, I.
Last video, cause this video's gonna be just real long. Yes.
Clear what happens now. Stella, you are expelled.
I'm withdrawing her from your school.
I'm expelling her.
It's too late because I withdrew her first, so that can't be on a record.
I'd said expelled. And I'd already said it.
Hadn't. Didn't. And might I say, your school seems to turn out horrible children with no creativity or compassion.
Ooh.
Or genius.
Almost 200 years ago, Horace Mann, the father of the modern public school system, went to Prussia, and he was impressed by how the Prussians schooled their kids. So who can guess what the Prussian focus was? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't a society filled with musicians, artists, inventors, and philosophers. Their focus was to build subordinate civil servants to the government and to industry. Obedient workers for the mines, obedient soldiers for the armies, and citizens who thought alike about major issues. To accomplish this, they basically separated kids by age, group, ability, and subject matter. Before the Prussians, this had not been seen before. The idea of teaching different subjects in different rooms for a limited amount of time, and students changing rooms and subjects at the sound of the bell was all new. So Mann brought these ideas to America because this organization
was school like not a thing? How did people learn
perfectly shit? With the new industries recently taking off at the start of the American Revolution. 175 years later, we are still training our kids to be obedient soldiers and subordinate workers in mines and factories. In the modern classroom, I see my students unknowingly fighting against this every single day. So now we spend 180 days every single year teaching fish how to climb trees instead of allowing them to swim. But rather than promoting individuality, we put them in castes, labeling the students who read, write, and work math problems quicker with no interference or debate. They're gifted. But what about the students who can't sit still in class? Or what about the students who wants to sit in a corner and draw in their sketchbook all day and they're not paying attention in class? Or what about that kid who wants to tap, hum, and hears every random sound that flows with the rhythm of his heartbeat? Ooh. These students are called lazy, unmotivated, distracted, and bad apples. But maybe their purpose was to be the next entrepreneur, graphic novelist, or music producer. These kids are just as gifted, but after years of failing tests, not doing homework, and receiving these negative labels on them from school, they start to believe. They start to believe what we tell them. They start to believe what we're teaching them. It's just hard for me to continue with that. They start to live up to being a bad apple, spoiling the good apples with classroom interruptions and bullying and refusing to do their work because they feel like it's a waste of their time. Or maybe they're just not interested. It's hard to say, but we focus on promoting the kids who just blindly listen to us and don't push back, don't ask questions, get their work done, sit quiet, sit still. Where are we allowing kids to be creative, be their own self, be individuals? It seems like we only focus on one or two types of intelligences. I feel like all of our kids, literally all of my kids, have amazingly special qualities about them. But we don't allow the eagles to fly. Instead of allowing these young eagles to do and excel in what they're naturally talented in, we label them as low, underachieving, and troubled students. We give them IEPs and RTIs and medication to help them cope with the classroom cages that they're forced in every day, preventing them from flying. Because we only value the people who listen and follow our instructions.
That's not
we
right.
Tell them to climb. So we only value the climbers.
Yeah, I sound dumb.
The climbers of trees. But the funny thing is, even the highest climber looks up to a flying eagle. But we don't help the eagles channel their energy toward natural passions. We don't uplift their varying interests, styles, and perspectives. We don't give them the time and the platform to be original. We don't allow them to swim or to fly. Instead, we only teach them to memorize facts discovered by pioneers, creators, and reformers of the past, instead of allowing them to be the innovators of our future.
You know what? I'm gonna save that. 2P. I bet y'all can't even guess what these playlists are. Wait, but I want to keep on watching this. But this video's already too long. But like, who cares? No one's even gonna like. Oh, does that shit even matter if this video's like too long? No one's even gonna watch all this shit. It's already too long. What's the point? Should I just keep going? Should I made a live stream? Maybe this is fine. Excuse me. Excuse me. Bro, wasn't this guy like a pedophile? Or isn't he a pedophile? Or some abuser or some shit? Wait.
Hi, the real. Hi, I'm Dave from Boy in a Band, and you don't leave.
Hey! My fault. Keep me cooped up in this ghetto and catch the Uzi.
Who are you working with? I am working with nobody.
Nobody? Al Pacino?
Retired. Retired.
Hold on! Yo, I kinda got an Al Pacino nose. Maybe I could be like Al Pacino.
Retired. You are serious? I'm serious, that's right. I'm out. I quit.
Al Pacino gets bitches. Right? I don't want bitches anyway.
What up, though? I'm Jay Will, aka Black Dad, and I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I quit my day job and stop teaching middle school. Let's go.
Read a book.
I love teaching, and I put a lot of time into my lessons. trying to make it as engaging, entertaining, visually stimulating as I possibly can. I always told myself I was going to be the teacher that I always wanted to have, picking little qualities from TV, movies, and teachers that I've enjoyed learning from. Shout out to Mr. Lowe from my hometown in Vidalia, Georgia. I always joke with my students that my favorite day of the week is Mondays, because that's when I typically introduce new lessons to my class. I love the reactions that I would get from them just seeing them interested in the topic.
Don't talk to the police.
But no matter how engaging and fun, at some point in the year, we always get to this weird lull. Because no matter how many games I played and jokes I tell, I was still forcing them to do something they weren't interested in. It's basically tricking them into learning, because it was never something they were originally interested in.
Fight the
and there's
system,
a consequence for that.
fight the power. What is this music and shit?
So kids will always come back to my class in their following years. They would hit me with a quick "what up though" and a fist bump. And we would just talk and joke and reminisce about the good times we had in the realm, which is what I called my class. Sometimes they would even ask me, what are the sixth graders doing now? And I would tell them, and then they would have this weird, perplexed look on their face. They basically were trying to remember the topic that they learned just last year, or sometimes even a few months before. I realized the kids who are honor roll students and aced my test just a year before couldn't even get a passing grade now. At first, I didn't really think much of it. We've all forgotten things that we've learned before. But I'm also very purpose-driven. So I took the challenge and tried to make things as memorable as possible. Our basic curriculum, I just wanted it to be as high level of engagement as I could. So I pulled every trick out of the book. I created a website for students to create their own learning encyclopedia, like a Khan Academy made for kids by kids. One year, I had students make a book of creative pictures, stories, poems, comics, memes, etc. with their critique of Hammurabi's code. And we were going to sell the book to give a profits to a charity that fights against modern slavery and human trafficking. We've done virtual field trips, reenactments, movie trailers, student interviews, gaming, mock trials, the list goes on and on. And even this year, we were completely project-based. No tests, no quizzes, just students picking any historical topic they were interested in and making a project about it. I've got documentaries, podcasts, art exhibits, music videos, news reports, children's books, etc.
That's
All
pretty
these
cool.
approaches were somewhat successful, and I would even get engagement from most kids, but not every kid. So I differentiated my approaches to reach the kids who may not like these projects. And a lot of times I would get them to engage and learn. But if I asked any of my kids about it a year later, they would forget most of the standards we covered. So I realized school is very inefficient. We spend 180 days teaching dozens of standards to students for them to forget it in a year to 3 years. That's such a huge waste of time. A baby learns to walk in a year without anyone teaching them how to walk. Kids learn to talk in a few years and have no professional training. But kids in high school will be taught a foreign language for 3 or 4 years and they're barely conversational at graduation. That same high school kid, if they want to learn Spanish, they could live in Spain for a summer and be more proficient in a couple months than they would in a couple years. I know some people may be thinking that they're completely immersed in it, so obviously they're going to learn faster. But the point is that a person who wants to learn Spanish as fast as possible will want to immerse themselves in it. I feel like our system of education fights against our natural desire to learn stuff. And instead of following the path of the natural interest of the learner, we tell the learner what they must learn. And that is inefficient. Almost 200 years ago, Horace Mann, the father of the modern public school system, went to Prussia, and he was impressed by how the Prussians schooled their kids. So who can guess what the Prussian focus was? I'll give you a hint. It wasn't a society filled with musicians, artists, inventors.
Wait, this is from the last video, bro.
And philosophers.
This part
Their
out.
focus was to build subordinate civil servants to the past.
He did, he just
allowing
clipped
them
it.
to be the innovators of our future. We are raising a generation that will answer questions regarding global warming, water shortages, marine life depletion, job loss due to automation, viral pandemics, and geocultural conflicts. But we are preparing them with a school system that only promotes order, stability, and conformity. Teachers are reprimanded and removed for having original ideas that go against curriculum pacing.
Bad boy.
Students are punished for sharing work, thinking outside the box, and being too open with their individuality. This one-size-fits-all only causes stress, anxiety, and inaccurate data. In the 21st century, people will need to be able to critically think, be creative, and to collaborate. None of this is emphasized in our current schooling institutions. As teachers, we should be preparing our children for the realities of tomorrow. How is that possible when so much emphasis is on preparing students for an end-of-the-year assessment? To prepare for these standardized tests, we have kids do multiple diagnostics, weekly automated computer lessons like iReady, and data chat meetings with the administration to see what our plan is to improve student scores. Teachers are labeled, promoted, and monetized from these test results. Standardized tests are not an authentic way to determine a student's learning, nor is it an accurate way to
I'm so
determine
quiet
a
because
student's
I'm
future
taking in the
success
information.
in adulthood.
Thinking about it.
Why not prioritize student mental health over standardized tests? Why not prioritize finding one's passions over finding the answer to a word problem? Why not prioritize social emotional competencies over comprehension of a historical text? The 3 R's are very important, but not at the expense of America's 3 founding principles: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So if the way we school our kids is something from 150 years ago, created to help better factory workers, for people to fall in line, why don't we change things for the better? So when I say I'm quitting teaching, it isn't so much quitting on kids, nor is it quitting on being an educator. I'm quitting on school, because the way we school is not the answer to education.
Yeah, fuck school.
We can have so much learning outside
With
of
W
the
education.
classroom. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on teaching my 2 children how to learn through living.
That's
following
right.
their passions in their pursuit of happiness. Let's see how it goes. This should be interesting. Deuces.
I'm a subscriber.
Hey guys, we are going to be posting videos all the time. Subscribe
Ooh,
for
so-
more.
Okay, I'm gonna watch more of these videos, but I'm done. I need to edit this video. Edit this video. Bye. Oh, got her.